Hey y'all, these are the BMW Chronicles. I am Angela and we are here tonight. These are the BMW Chronicles in-house. I know I'm normally in my car, but I'm not. I'm in-house tonight, here with you, live. Still working on this voice, but we're here. We are here, and we're not gonna even worry about all these other things. I am Angela. To thine own self be true, no matter what. Never compromise you. Be the best. Hey, so I guess I'm experiencing a little technical difficulty tonight, but we're gonna work through it. As always, we're gonna work through it. We're not gonna worry about it. So I have a really good topic tonight. I have some really good guests tonight. And I think you guys are gonna love this. I'm here, I'm ready, I'm waiting. And we're gonna get into it soon. I'm gonna give you all a little bit of time to get home, get in your spot, get ready, get your sip. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. I'm here, I'm ready, I'm waiting. Yeah. So tonight's topic, oh man. So let me start by saying this. And when I say this is not to take shots at anybody or to poke jabs. That's not what that's about. So I want to say first and foremost that I am not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. These are my thoughts. These are my opinions. And these are just topics that, that I have conversation with my friends about. So, these are things that I want to come and I want to discuss with you all. Let's get into it. Let's talk about different things. And that is the point of the BMW Chronicles, because being me, it works. Who are you? To thine own self be true. So I posted a clip a couple of days ago. It was Method Man's clip, and I shared it on my page. And I got a little bit of blowback, nothing real bad, but I got a little blowback on it. It's okay, I'm here for the smoke. But let me start off by saying this. Tonight, this topic is going to be a little bit touchy for some. So as you come on, I would ask that each of you be respectful of one another, that you respect people's thoughts and opinions. I don't care what you say. We're all entitled to these thoughts and opinions, and we should be able to voice that. Hey, Sean. Hey, Aunt. So tonight, again, I just want everybody to be respectful. I want everybody to be decent. Respect people's thoughts. Respect their opinions. And as we go through this topic, let's really talk. Let's grown people, let's get into it. So again, these are the BMW Chronicles. Being me works. These are the Chronicles in-house because I am home. Hey Max, to thine own self be true. Be the best version of you. And let's get into it. So tonight's topic: can a woman, I don't want to say teach, but can a woman teach a boy to be a man? And I know that's a little bit controversial. So before you all get on here and attack me and, come with the smoke, let me just say this. Me personally, I feel that all children, even though we're going to talk about boys only tonight, I just want to say that I think that all children need both of their parents. I think that having both parents allow there to be a healthy balance. Women, we bring something that men can't bring. Men, you bring something that women can't bring. So I think collectively, those two things build strong character in our children that will allow them to grow up and be decent human beings, better human beings, more successful, better thriving humans. So I want to say that. No matter what. Hey, and you're so crazy. So I want to start off by saying that, I know that a lot of single women are raising boys, and it is a challenge. I don't have any male children. I have, my grandson, but he is not my own. I have a daughter, and I'm thankful that she has become a well-adjusted person, an adult. She is a strong woman. She is raising a boy. And she's doing the best that she can. She has a fiance. She has the support of her dad, and I'm thankful for that. He is a very good grandfather, and I'm thankful for that. But sometimes there are women who don't get the opportunity to have men in their lives, to help them with these young men, to give them the tools that they need to possibly be successful. So tonight, I want us to really talk about, do we really think or believe that single women can provide the structure or foundation that men need to become great men, successful men, strong men? You said I'm cutting in and out. I know, I don't know what is going on tonight, so just bear with me. Hopefully it'll get better. I'm gonna work with it. Just keep me posted. Let me know. As long as y'all keeping up. I was trying to get fancy on y'all tonight and get my little title over top, but I don't know what's going on. You said it's freezing. It's not showing me that it's freezing, so I don't know why. But just work with me, y'all. Work with me. Whenever I got a good topic, this is what happens, okay? So, again, these are the BMW Chronicles. I am Angela, where Being Me works. Tonight we are talking about, can a woman raise a boy to be a man? Now, I want to put this out here real quick so nobody get on here with the smoke, because I'm with the smoke, but not too much on the smoke. I think that all children, I'm gonna say this for the last time, all children need both parents. I see slow connection. Sometimes we don't get that opportunity. There are women, I don't think that a lot of women want to be single mothers, but they are. So sometimes your hand is forced. And when your hand is forced, you got to do what you got to do. Okay? I think that a woman can provide some structure for her son. She can teach him some core values on how to treat a woman. She can teach him some core values on how he can be self-sufficient. She can teach him, what it means to be gentlemanly like, I believe. And these are my thoughts and opinions. This ain't science. This ain't fact. These ain't, I ain't did no book work on this. So nobody come on here with that. I got a couple of guys that, that I invited tonight to come on to my live. I don't see them yet. So I'm going to talk about them for a second. I invited Sean Bailey to come on tonight. Sean Bailey is former member of TCF Crew, which is one of our favorite R&B groups. He was also a dancer for Big Daddy Kane, Coogee Rap, and DJ Polo. And he also, now him and his wife have their own real estate company. And I'll let him tell his story when he gets here. I got Terry coming back on again, who did so good. The ladies loved him. They loved him. So he's coming back on. Terry is a father. He is a husband. And he'll tell his story. I got Maurice Brown coming on tonight, who is one of my childhood friends. He played for St. John's University. We all thought he was going to go pro. He didn't, but we still love you, Fresh, no matter what. He is one of my favorite guys, and I'll let him tell his story as well. So, these three guys have different stories, but they all lead to the same road. And, for you guys that have similar stories, I want you to come on and tell your story. I'm going to try to allow people to come on. I'm going to try to pull some people on. Give you 2 minutes to, say what you got to say. And then, we can get back to it. So I don't see them. So, again, these are my thoughts. I think that, like I said, that women, we provide something different. Sometimes I think back, and a lot of times I refer back to slavery. In slavery times, men weren't the, hey, Bailey, hey, boo. I think that in slavery times, I'm going to bring you on. Women were the foundation. They were the focal point, because you got to remember that even though both parties were in the field and, and enslaved, men weren't really present to say, they weren't the enforcers. They weren't the person raising the children or rearing them up. It was the mom who was rearing them up the best that they could, given conditions, given circumstances. They did the best that they could, so we have to look at those things, and those things move forward. We would all like to have, that father figure there, that disciplinary, that provider, financially, emotionally, spiritually. But sometimes that's not the case. And we got to deal with the facts and the reality. And the reality is that the men aren't there. And it's not that they're not always there. Sometimes they're not. For whatever the reason is, they're not there. And we got to look at that. Bailey, I am sending you an invite. So I don't know if you can come on yet, but I'm going to invite you, and we'll see what happens. So, Sean, are you there? Are you there, Sean? I'm trying to bring you on. It says it's unable. Why? Let's try again, Sean. Are you there? Are you there? Sean, where are you? There you go. Hey, Billy.
Hey, what's
What's
going
up?
on?
Why are you in your car?
I mean, I was working. I was
I
getting
can't
it.
hear you. We can't hear you.
Oh,
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
hold on, hold on. I'm gonna go back out and come back in.
I don't know what happened with Sean, but we're gonna get Sean back on whenever he gets back. I don't know what's going on with him. All right, so we still waiting for Terry. We waiting for Maurice to come on. Hopefully they'll be here soon. So again, that's just my thoughts. I know a lot of men who were raised by just their mom. And, you know, for the most part, I want to say I can't tell other people's story. I can't say what they missed or, you know, what they wish they had. But I think that the ones that I do know, they turned out pretty damn good, I want to say. Some of them are real gentlemen. Some of them are real providers, you know, articulate, strong. You know, they want to be husbands, the ones that are still single. Some of them are married and they are good, strong husbands and men. Me, I didn't have my biological father there early. Oh, you said you can hear him? Okay, but I couldn't hear him. I don't know why. So, Billy, I'm going to try to bring you back on again because they said they could hear you, but I couldn't hear you. So let's try again. Let me try again. Let me try again. There you go, Billy. All right, let's see. Let's see.
What about now?
I can't hear you. I don't know why I can't hear you.
Well, the people can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
And I can't. You sound really, really low. Let's see. Can I turn you up? You're added. I don't know why I can't hear you. I don't know. No, my mic is on. I don't know why I can't hear you, Billy. This sucks. Big time. Let's see. Let's try this. Let's see. Let's see if I get rid of my music. Can I hear you? Can you hear? Let me see. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Oh yeah, you're really low. So can you turn your phone up some maybe?
Yes, all the way up.
It's all the way. It's all the way up. I cannot hear you. This is terrible. Okay. Well,
speak loud. Can you hear me?
Huh?
If I speak loud, can you hear me?
Barely. I'm straining to hear you, but they said they can hear you, so.
Get the wax out your ears. I don't know. I'm gonna come back.
I'm disappointed. Let me see. Yeah, my volume is all the way, so I don't know. Okay, so this is Sean. You guys said you can hear him. So Sean, tonight we're talking about, you know, men being raised by single moms. I know that that is not your story, and I was telling them that, you know, that you were a member of TCF, one of our favorite R&B groups from the 90s. Also a dancer for Big Daddy Kane. He danced with Coogee Rap, DJ Polo. Him and his wife now have a very, very successful real estate company. And Sean is one of my favorite people in the entire world. I got some other favorites, but you're up there in top 5. So I love Sean. But now Sean's story is a little different because Sean, you had both of your parents in the house, correct?
Yes, I have both of my parents, mother and father. Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't come up with a single parent household.
Okay. Do you think that a single mom, you know, and that there are mitigating circumstances, do you feel like, you know, a mother could raise a boy to be a young man, to be, and I know that, and let me say this, I said this earlier before you came on, I know that she can't teach him per se to be a man, but I want to say that she can give him some solid structure, some foundation, and some qualities and some morals and some pieces that allow him to get maybe a decent leg up, just in terms of giving him, you know, proper etiquette, proper gentlemanly like skills, being, you know, being humble, being loving, teaching him how to take care of himself in the event that he doesn't get a good wife or a good partner. You know, she can give him these things. But do you think that she can do it alone? Or, I mean, I know she needs help, But what's your thoughts on that?
I don't feel that. I mean, she can give a young man or a little boy the nurturing, right? But there's certain things that a woman cannot teach a man. But everything that you stated, of course, like we were talking about before your broadcast, back in the days, it was Big Mama. Big Mama was the head of the household, right? And I always tell all my people, my job for me as a man is to serve and protect, right? So anything outside of that, that's that's not my duties. But again, a woman can definitely show a young boy, especially if she has a good foundation, a great foundation. You,
That's right.
you know what I mean? It's just that it gets it gets a little unstable when the boy picks up a lot of the emotion and don't know how to balance the emotion
That's
of,
right. That's right.
of how a woman would actually go into, I guess, balancing herself. So
Okay.
that's where the balance comes in with a male
Having both
providing
parents,
the
and I
house.
and I believe that they need both because like it gives them the balance. But I mean, again, we got to deal in the reality. The reality is that a lot of us don't have the balance, And again, I have a girl child, And again, Sean is my favorite person for a bunch of reasons. Our daughters share the same birthday. One of his daughters shares the same birthday with my
Yeah.
baby. So we're like linked in for so many different reasons. But I do believe that kids need that structure. They need that balance because there are some things that that dad's gonna bring to the table that mom can't. There are some things that mom's gonna bring that dad can't. But I want us to look at the reality, and the reality is that a lot of moms don't have that balance there. So without having that balance, now she's forced to step in and say, hey, you know what? I gotta wear both of these hats. I don't want to, but I have to. Why? Because of unforeseeable circumstances. Sometimes things don't work. Sometimes she's an ass and she got rid of him. Sometimes he's an ass and he got rid of her. But whatever the criteria is, the bottom line is I'm trying to get to the meat and potatoes of this thing without offending people. And again, I want, people to comment. I want them to have their opinions, but I want us to all be fair to one another. I want women to be fair to men. I want the men to be fair to the women because I'm on the side of right. Okay, I don't have a son, and I'm thankful for that because having a grandson, I've learned some different things. As I see him grow up and as I watch him evolve into whatever it is he's evolving into, I realize that my grandson is an endangered species. So I know that he needs something different. I know that there are some pieces of the puzzle that me and my daughter cannot give him. But then there are some things that I can give him. When when he comes in and I embrace him and I hug him and I love him, I want him to understand the expectation of having a woman to love him and what he may need to learn to do, to reciprocate that. And I think a lot of times reciprocation is a problem. So I know men want to say, oh, a woman can't teach a boy to be a man. I got that. I got that. I got that. But sometimes, again, that's not the case. So, I mean, again, you having both of your parents there, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? I'm waiting for Terry and I'm waiting for Maurice, but I guess they must have backed out on me. I don't know.
What's my thoughts on get more specific, or what's my thoughts about? What are you
Just,
asking?
I mean, I'm asking, do you think that even with the need for the balance and the balance is not there, do you think that those boys or, those, I'm going to say children because I hate that boy. It sounds so, do you think that those young men could actually evolve into great human beings, successful human beings, nurturing human beings, good husbands, good fathers, good providers?
Yeah, I mean, anyone can do that, right? It doesn't necessarily mean just because you have a broken household doesn't mean that you can't develop into a successful person. It just depends on the perspective of how you're looking at life. So
I agree.
it's because sometimes, I mean, for me, right? I could look at someone who doing terrible and learn from that,
Right.
right? So you have some people who take trauma and experiences and go, okay, I'm gonna go the other way. But then you have some people who fall into being a victim of what their surroundings are,
That's right.
you know. But getting back to your question, yes, I feel that definitely without balance, with just a woman raising, definitely they could be successful and be a man, right? But I feel that we're in a very sad state of affairs where
Absolutely.
most of the women are saying, well, I don't need a man. I could do it by myself.
And I totally disagree. I hate when women say that. I'm not that woman. I'm thankful. Like I said, I'm single, but I don't feel that as a single woman without children, I know I need me somebody. So I totally agree with that. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just had to lock in on that. That I totally disagree with those women who say I don't need a man. If you didn't need if we didn't need you all, why are you here?
Yeah, right. But again, you don't have to necessarily have a mate. You have an uncle. You have a brother.
Absolutely.
You I mean, if you're into the church, you have the deacon at the church. I mean, you have the dude down the block. You
That's
know,
right.
again, you could bring in different facets depending on who you know to help you raise
That's
the
right.
young man to be a great man. It's
That's right.
about the decisions of the woman who's around her.
Okay. Okay.
Who's around who is she around? Who is she attracting?
That's right. That's right.
Right. So you have to look at the environment. You have to look at the caretaker and the mentality of that woman. Right.
I agree. I agree. I agree. I don't know. Like I said, I'm looking for my other crimies and my other partners in crime around here to chime in, and give their side of the story. Because again, everybody is not as fortunate as you, Sean. Everybody doesn't get the luxury or I say the blessing of being able to say, you know what, I have mom and dad. Now for me, I gotta say on the opposite end of that no, I didn't have my biological dad, but I had a great stepdad.
Oh,
I had a great
oh,
stepdad. He was there. He gave me so many pieces of the puzzle, teaching me to drive, making sure when I walked out the door for school, I had money in my pocket, holding the door, showing me that nurturing and that positive reinforcement when he interacted with my mom, them being affectionate, them going on dates, him doing the things that, a man should do. And again, I have brothers, but they are, hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. Maurice is texting me and I'm trying to get him on. Okay, like I said, so I had a good example, but again, I do have brothers, but we have the same dad. We don't have the same mother. So their, upbringing, it may be different. I can't really speak to that, because I can't really say how involved or not involved my dad was with them, because again, I got involved with my dad later on in life,
so let me ask you this. Right? So,
oh my.
I mean, there was okay. So you said you had a stepdad. So, I mean, was there a split with your parents, or your parents never got together and you was raised by your mom until she got with your stepdad?
Boy, you want me to be vulnerable, don't you?
No, I'm just asking because
I'm a 70s baby, Sean. So the 70s. You know how it was in the 70s. In the 70s, people were just learning themselves, finding out who they were. We were coming out of, with Jim Crow era, Black Panthers, power to the people, the Vietnam War. So listen, I think that in those times, men were like, okay, wait a minute, I got a little bit of freedom. Let me get on through. They stayed if they stayed, they left if they left, So yeah, my mom was a single mom until my stepdad came along much, much later. So I didn't have him.
let me ask you this though. So your mother have brothers and sisters?
Absolutely. So I did have my uncles around. I had my grandfather around. I had some very good uncle influences, and I'm thankful for that. And I think that sometimes those pieces for me are some of the reasons that people would say, oh, I have that masculine energy. We talked about that. Already. So I think that that's some of it for me. I guess I kind of absorbed more of that. Maybe sometimes I feel like because I missed having my dad around to show me how it worked, how it, how to get that balance in there. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I didn't get that balance part, later on. We got a couple of people saying stuff. Yes, Flip is saying that kids are still innocent. This is why they need direction from both parents. Absolutely. And that's what we're saying, that, they do need the balance, but sometimes the balance doesn't exist, So I want us to, to touch on that, but I want us to be clear on what the topic is. And the topic is this is basically because I posted the video that Method Man shared, and I shared it on my page. And he said that, he was raised by his mom. And he said that his mom, he feels like she did a great job. And what she poured into him allowed him to not only be a good husband and a good father, but it allowed him to be in a place where he could be selected to be that good husband. Because sometimes you could want to be a husband and, somebody not select you because you don't have the criteria that they're seeking out or searching for. So he felt that she gave him all the necessary components to meet that criteria.
She did.
And a lot of people disagree with that. And I'm okay with the disagree. Disagree, let's agree, at the same time. But I think that I don't ever want to take away from the need of the father or the black man. Ever, never. That is a necessary component. Absolutely. That is unequivocal. That is non-negotiable. Okay? So I want to say that. But we got to deal with the reality. And the reality is simply this. That is not always what we're up against. Okay? The reality is there are so many single moms. Some by choice, some by force, some because, listen, I'm a woman, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. And I don't care if you get mad. Some of these moms is ratchet as hell. And if I was the man, I'd lead their ass too. Okay? So we need to be more careful in our selection of mates when we choose to procreate. Okay, so that's a whole nother topic of conversation. Okay, right, because had we chosen properly in our procreation selection, we might not be having this topic of conversation. Right. Okay,
right.
So,
but things happen.
Absolutely.
Things happen.
Absolutely.
But you still definitely have to know. Again, we was really big with bloodlines back in ancient times.
Yep. Gary says that his knowledge came from older guys, uncles, and grandfathers. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ruby is saying that she agrees with you, Sean. And, so she has a big brother. So she agrees with what you're saying about, the balance and everything. And again, I get it. I agree, but we got to look at the fact that sometimes that's not the case. Mo is still texting me. I don't know what he got going on. He's saying he can't find us. I don't know. We must be lost. Lord, these people be social savvy until you need them to do something. I tell you. But it's okay. It's okay. So, like I said, I don't want to discredit dads. Dads are very important. When I finally got an opportunity to link up with my biological dad, I kind of realized some of the things that I missed, that daddy-daughter bonding, because like I said, he and I are close now to some extent, but he is also a Trinidadian man. So, Trinidadian men, they could take their kids or leave their kids. You burn bridges with them, they don't speak to you for 6 years, and then one day they pick up the phone, they in love with you. So that's neither here nor there. My dad is one of a kind. It is what it is. But I mean, like I said, I'm talking about reality, and reality is this balance, it doesn't always exist. And like I said, we have men. I'm trying to bring on these men who got these that were raised by these single moms. Terry is one of them, but I don't know where he is, so I don't know.
And a lot of it too is how does the parent or the mother, right, really some mothers really pour everything into the child.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's a good idea.
You can give a kid too much. Okay, hold on, Bailey. So we got Terry here. So let's see if I can bring Terry on. Let's see if I can bring him on. Let's see. Hold on, T. Let me see if I can bring you on. I'm trying. It's saying invite, but I don't see to invite you. Terry, see if you can send a request to join, because I want Terry to be able to tell his own story, just like you. So he's here, but I know
Terry,
last time.
Terry's was he a latchkey kid?
I think so. I think so. Um, yeah, sometimes it is a power struggle, Sean. But I mean, I want to, look at, us being, in a situation where, like I said, where it's not the power struggle, where the mom just has to, do what she has to do. Unfortunately, she didn't pick her circumstance. Her circumstance might have picked her for whatever reason. Like I said, whether it be she chose not to be with him, he chose not to be with her,
I think in Method Man's case, right? He saw his mom. His mom was never home, and she was always, as they would say today, getting to the bag, right?
right.
And I think for him, even though that she wasn't there, that was a great example of taking care of responsibility, right? So as I was saying before, a lot of women can actually put so much into their kids that they cripple them, right? But they say that the children are the future. I don't think that the children are the future. I feel that the mother is the future, because the kid is looking at what the mother doing.
Okay.
So they're going to just emulate whatever mom is doing. So if mom is not going after the dreams, if mom is, is woe is me, that's what the kid's going to eventually do.
And you think that goes with them raising their son? You think that that's gonna I guess rub off on their son's attitude and energy as they move on to adulthood? Is that what you're saying?
Most definitely, because again, I'll use Method Man's mom and just how he came out. She had to do what she had to do. It didn't seem like she was complaining. She got to it.
Right. Like most of us.
Huh?
Like a lot of us. Like most of us.
Right. So imagine if she was woe is me, or if she was so emotional that she that's all that he seen.
Right.
That probably would have dictated how he would have came out to handle adversity and things of that nature, and would have been very, very feminine on his emotion, or not knowing how to balance his emotion.
Got that. I got that.
That's how you get a lot of people beating on their woman. They don't know how to handle their emotion. They don't know they don't know how to manage it.
Right? I like that.
Because
I like that.
Everything is management.
Absolutely.
You go
absolutely.
Feel mad, you're gonna get happy. I'm gonna get sad. Sometimes I want to cry, but there's a management level to it.
Right.
Sometimes I get frustrated. Sometimes I get angry. But how do I manage it? But if you have a woman who didn't know how to handle her life and pass that down to the son, guess what the son is gonna do?
So I know that some people were also trying to say, or not trying to say, were saying like, I guess because they didn't have that male figure around, I don't know. Mo would say he can't find my page. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see what's going on Facebook. I mean, I'm trying to do all these things at the same time. So I think that, a lot of people were saying because that man wasn't around, that maybe that might have caused some of these young men to act out. Maybe that's why some of them ended up in the streets. They ended up in jail. But then again, on the flip side of that, you got some men that came from some good homes, well-balanced, mom and dad, worst criminals ever, serial killers, worst drug dealers, So again, it's a double-edged sword. And, it's really a toss of the coin, Sean. And that's just an opinion of mine.
I have plenty of people I know, both, mother and father in the home acting out.
Right.
Going to jail, selling drugs, just being a part of the street because that was exciting to them.
Right.
So I don't truly believe that that's it. I believe that it's up, it's up to the individual and their surroundings of what they gravitate to.
I agree. I agree. I mean, I told a little bit of my story, about, me being a young person and, a little bit, being, a little bit of a tomboy, little wild style, you know, but I don't think that that was because I didn't have both parents, because during that time of my life, I had my mom, I had my stepdad. My stepdad had a very good job. My mom had a good job. They were both working people. My mom, God-fearing woman, whatever. My dad, he's the person, listen, he wants us to have our identities, if we rebel a little bit, it's okay because they got to find themselves. He was that person for us. And I still, was out in the street, getting a little hustle, doing a little hand in hand, whatever I was doing. And I don't think that that was because of them. That was more me, like most people, finding ourselves, somewhat following our friends. And, again, coming into oneself, because for me that's what it was. I was finding myself. I was coming into whoever it was that I was going to be, good, bad, and different, and I didn't know that there was going to be a consequence for that. So I lived, out on the edge.
You lived out on the edge.
A little bit on the edge, Sean.
Yeah, but I also
A little bit.
Is he in?
No, he's not. He says he's in a meeting. So I don't know what's going on with him. And Mo was over here. He said he can't find my page. I don't know why he can't find my page. So I just sent him a message. So he should be able to click my page or whatever. I don't know. Listen, these people sketchy. But listen, so any of you men on here, you raised by, your mom, and you want to give your insight, listen, let me know. I'll bring you in. Give you a couple of little 2-3 minutes respectfully. I want you to be respectful to me, respectful to, okay, so Mo is here. So Mo, I'm gonna bring you on. Oh my goodness, these people, they are not social media savvy. Let's see if I can bring him on. Let's see, it says unable.
You know what? Let me go out and see if that's the thing.
Yeah, so you come back, because I want to talk some more with you for sure, Sean. I love you like a fat kid love cake, right?
Yes, I'm gonna hang around, definitely.
All right. Love you, Sean. All right. So Mo, I'm trying to bring you in. Let me see if I could get you in here. Let me get you out of there, Sean. All right, Mo, let me see if I could get you in here. It says bring you on. Let's see. We could bring Maurice on. Mo Brown, where you at? I am having a bunch of issues. Let's see, I can add, send an invite. All right, let's see what we got going on. It's waiting. Okay, we got Mo Brown in the house. Hey, Fresh, what's up?
Yo, get it together, man. Get your little.
Don't come on here with that
my
hood
bad.
mess. We not with it. With it.
My
So
bad.
this is Mo. A lot of y'all know him as Fresh. Maurice is one of my childhood friends. Another one of my faves. We got a lot of history. So we're talking about, can a single woman raise a young man to be a man? And I know that that's a little bit controversial, and you and I talked about this. I know Maurice's grandmother, God rest her soul, was very, very instrumental in his upbringing. She was mean as hell. I'm sorry, Mo, I had to throw that out there. She was mean as a rattlesnake. But, I think that, some of that might have governed the person that you are. Do you feel like you missed anything? I mean, like I said, I know that, your dad was around. I know you had your grandfather. But do you think that a woman could do what she did, or do you think that she could have done what she did alone? And do you think that you are half of what you are, or do you think that some of what you could have been is missing for some reason? I know it was a lot, right?
Yeah, that was like an 8-part question. It's all good.
That's all right. You college material, you got this, bro.
Whatever. Nah, I think it's difficult. I think in this day and age, it's more difficult for single mothers to raise kids. The kids are different this day and age. Working with kids, and especially in the mental health population, these kids are different.
Right.
So I definitely don't see myself in in this population of kids, unfortunately.
None of us.
But I will say that it definitely takes a village. So I did have that. I had a surrounding, even though my mom was, doing what she was doing her thing. My grandmother was able to step up, and not just her, it was more so, my family that helped kind of nurture the bond um, that I had in the community. It was and the community. To be honest, the community was a big part of my upbringing. But I think now it's real hard for a single mom, especially a young single mom, that plays a part. A
That's
young
right.
single mom to, raise a young man to be a man. He definitely could benefit from having a male role model, male
Absolutely.
figure in his life. So.
So what did you get from your grandmother? What parts of her, or what parts did she give you that you think had a major influence on the character that you represent today?
My grandmother was tough. Like, I mean, you already know that. Um, she used to don't call here for more. Nah, my
Well,
grandmother
we
was
say
was.
home, don't you call here
I,
no more.
I mean, but growing up in the neighborhood, you had to be a certain way.
Yeah,
You had to be
yeah,
tough. So she instilled that in me. Resilience.
yeah.
Um, being loyal. Um, not being stupid, not being a knucklehead. She definitely, instilled those qualities in me. Definitely kept me humble. You know,
Mm. We talked
even
about
though
humble
she
earlier. That's right.
listen, even though she wasn't like an educated woman, school wise, but she was a wise lady. She was wise to the world. And a very beautiful soul, beautiful soul.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Definitely, definitely,
I learned the softer side of her later on. It took a while,
yeah,
but I learned those softer sides of her.
yeah.
Do
I
you
still,
think
I
that
still ain't see
you
that
could
side.
have been half of what you are without her? And that I want to say that. Do you think that you could have been what you are without her? And how much influence did your dad have on who you are now as well?
Um,
I know I'm asking you to give your business. I'm
no,
sorry.
no, 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 that's cool. That's cool. If I can't answer it, I won't answer. But
That's right.
no, no, no. My grandmother was, of course, a crazy influence, and still to this day. But I still had other pieces of the puzzle that was, influential, to me and my growth and my development.
Hmm.
But as far as that, a lot of stuff I could honestly say I did on my own,
Okay.
trial and error. So I was kind of like, you know, trailblazing things on my own, especially when it came to college. Nobody went to college, so I was kind of like the
Right.
first. And I was fortunate really through sports, because if it wasn't for sports, I wouldn't have had that opportunity.
Right. Right.
But as far as I had my dad, I had uncles, I had friends, had a lot of mentors in the community. My uncles on my dad's side, I had a lot of male role models, and I wouldn't change anything about how I grew up. So, especially at that time, especially me still being here. You know, um, girl, you on mute? You on mute?
Shouldn't be. I don't know.
There you
Can you
go.
hear me?
Yeah, you
Okay.
good now.
Yeah, that speaks volumes because I think a lot of I see a lot of people on my page and they're commenting to say, a woman can't, raise a man. And I got it. Again, I understand the balance. I got that. But again, I want to look at the mitigating circumstances. I want to look at the reality. And the reality is that even though we need the balance is required, we know that the balance is not there.
Hmm.
And with it not being there, is there a woman, and I'm not asking us to,
Hmm.
point out a particular woman,
Hmm.
but is there a woman who could possibly do this? Method Man, this is the reason for this video, for this live. He posted a video to say that his mother was instrumental in
Hmm.
in who he is.
All right.
She reared him and made him a good man, which made him a good husband. And these are his words, not verbatim, but it also made him it gave him enough character that made a woman want to select him to be her husband, and it made him able to be a good father, is what he said. And he didn't have his
Hmm.
dad around. So, do you think
So
that that's possible?
so I would say that's on a you know a different. Everybody is different. Every
That's right.
male is different, and how they you know reciprocate love. Um, also how they receive, how they see relationships. Um, he could have, you know, he might not have dealt with no abuse, certain certain things that we don't really know the
Right,
underlying
right, right.
factors too. Um, but I think that speaks volume, of him because he's like he's a role model, he's a celebrity, and to be able to, be in that type of limelight and still, kind of avoid, those pitfalls of, stepping out, um, is kind of dope. I think that
Gary said we had the Cosby Show, good times and shows that provided positive
yeah, yeah,
father
yeah.
figures. I want to
That's
say,
right.
yeah, we did most
That's true.
definitely,
That's true.
definitely,
That's true.
because we got to see when we saw the Cosby
That's true,
Show,
Gary.
we
What's good,
got to
Gary?
see a dad be, a homeowner,
Yeah.
affluent doctor,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we got to see some pieces of the puzzles that we weren't really seeing in our communities,
Right, right.
and that's so and we need that positive influence. Too bad we don't have that
Yeah,
today. And I'm not gonna
yeah,
say
yeah, yeah.
that we don't have it, but it's few and far in between. I'm gonna say,
Right.
And as you said, and I know you work with a lot of young kids in the mental health field, so you see some of the pieces that a lot of people don't see.
Mm-hmm.
It is difficult when you don't have the mom or the dad to give them the nurturing that they need, the positive influence, the you can do it, don't worry about it, somebody that has your back when
Mm-hmm.
you fall,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
kids need that,
Yeah,
but again, the reality, we're back to the reality, everyone does not have that,
yeah,
you know
yeah. I
so
think a lot of the kids nowadays that I see are like emotionally broken.
absolutely,
They're,
absolutely.
they unable to um, kind of connect, and the only emotions they show a lot is anger.
Anger.
You know,
Anger, I agree.
anger.
I agree.
Yeah, anger.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey,
So
Slice. Sorry.
Slills, what up, Slills?
Slice, we could
My
get you on
brother.
here too. We could tell your story. We could tell your story. I don't know Slice's whole story, but I know Slice has a good story
Of
too.
course, of
Slice,
course,
we talking about,
definitely.
can a woman raise a young man to be a grown man?
Strong
Because I don't want to say the
man.
word boy.
Yeah,
I don't like
sure.
that word.
Right.
I
A
know that
mature
again,
man. A
a
mature man.
mature man, yes,
I would say a
because we're
mature
talking
man.
about the balance. We need that balance, and Maurice is sharing how he had some influences in the community. He had his grandmother who was the major piece of the puzzle, but there were some other pieces that fit around it that made that one piece, a secure piece. And a lot of kids don't have the security that
Yeah.
they need, whether it be
That
from
part.
the mother, whether it be from the father or that grandmother.
Hmm.
Because now you got to think that the new grandmothers are me,
Yeah.
or not even me
Yeah.
really, because at 51,
Younger.
I'm
Yeah.
more, I'm going to work, I'm coming home. I'm not, really clubbing or whatever. We
Mm-hmm.
got these new mothers, the 35, 40s, they in the
Mm-hmm.
club, they smoking weed. Like, what can you actually give as far as structure and guidance when you
Right.
high?
Right.
When
Right.
you always, in a world of euphoria. What
Right.
can you actually provide? Nothing. There's nothing stable about that. And I understand that argument from everybody's point of view, male and female,
Right. Right.
but
Right.
I don't want women to get all the glorification. I ain't team women because I'm a woman. I'm a woman all day.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't team us because it's us. I'm team right. And at the end of the day, this conversation is about the men. It's about our young men. What do we need to do to get them to the next level? What do we need to do to maybe have another Fresh who is not in jail, who is working with young kids? What do we need to do to have another Sean Bailey, who is, like I said, an ex-member of the TCF crew, dancing for Big Daddy Kane, Coogee Rap, DJ Post, real estate owner and broker with his wife, Slice, author of a movie. How do we get these kids to that, knowing
Mm-hmm.
that they don't have someone to point them?
Well, I think a big part of that is a lot of the stuff that we experience too. Is having the mentors in the community, or just
You're
mentors.
breaking up.
Period.
You're breaking up.
Um, can you hear me now? Um,
We
hello,
missed it,
hello.
Mo. Oh, I missed it.
Okay.
You were breaking up.
I was saying that the biggest thing is that um, having the mentors. Having somebody you could connect with is vital, and it's very important. I think having somebody that might be, you know, that might have a skill set that you might be interested to, that you could connect with, and maybe they can kind of guide you and lead you. I think those are important pieces. Um, but I think us, we need to take more pride in our kids. Um, and me included, of course, but it starts at home too. We have to make sure that our home is straight before we out there saving everybody else kids. We got
Absolutely.
to make sure we take care of our own,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
that's an important piece now. Me being a little older, understanding, how important it
Absolutely.
is,
Absolutely. Yeah,
so
and I think that's the whole component. Being able to open up the door for conversation, being able, like you said, to provide understanding for each other.
mhm.
I need to understand you, you need to understand me, and then we need to collectively figure out what we need to do so that our kids get the pieces that they need. Let's see. We got Sean. Sean says actual facts.
Mighty, what's
Slice
good,
said
Mighty?
facts. And Gary is saying, he said, as long as women use their resources, the village. And I agree,
Yeah,
Mo.
I
I agree with
agree.
you,
I agree with
Gary,
that
that
too.
we have to do that. Listen, and I'm
Yeah,
guilty of that because Mo will tell you, Fresh will tell you, how many times I say, Fresh, get my
yeah,
grandson, take him on the basketball
yeah.
court when you go out
Facts,
there. And
facts.
he has he has his dad, but listen, sometimes these dads don't provide some stuff. He might not be the athletic dad.
Hmm.
So maybe my grandson might need for me to call a cousin or a best friend and say, hey, listen, I know you play sports. Can you get my grandbaby, take him on the court with you,
Right,
whatever.
right.
So yeah, it does take the village. It does take all of us. It's not about just me. It's not about just you.
Hmm.
And we get lost in this. We get lost in pride,
Yeah,
Fresh,
yeah, yeah.
not
Oh, yeah.
wanting to
Ego.
ask for the help.
Yeah, pride
And that
and
is
ego.
the key component. When your significant other has decided that they don't want to be a part of, this situation with you, we got to be able to say, you know what? Hey, Maurice, I need help. Hey,
Right,
Slice, I need help. Or,
right.
you call me. Can you, whatever. Like, we got to be able to do that. We got to put our pride aside if we expect our kids to be something. Because guess what? These are the kids that, unfortunately,
See? Yeah.
are going to be carrying on the torch,
Yep, yep.
doing whatever it is that they doing with their pants off their ass, smoking all of the weed, listening to whatever they listening to, because I'm
Mhm,
confused about it all, but that's another topic.
mhm.
So we got to be able to put something in them because they're next up.
Yeah.
They're next
But
up.
let me say something to that though. Like I know that we can't identify, and we shouldn't really be able to identify with that, with their music and their style, because again, the older generation, they couldn't identify with
That's
ours
right.
either. You know what I mean? So that's a good measurement to show that there's a difference, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So again, that don't mean that we can't understand them.
That's right.
That don't mean that we can't relate to them. So I think the difference is the age gap, but it also is still similar to the way some of the ways that we grew up and doing different things that was,
Yeah, I got you.
that's kind of like was like the culture, when we was doing it. So
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
think, I mean, every generation
Go
is
do
going to
something
say,
different.
and they're going to say they ain't like us, they ain't tough as us,
Of
they
course,
ain't strong. Like
everybody wants to be the
we
best
always
version of
gonna we
something.
gonna
Absolutely.
we're gonna big up our own generation
Oh
over
yeah. Oh,
everybody's,
yeah,
but
for sure. For
it's
sure.
definitely I
For
definitely
sure.
agree with my man Sean saying that with the emails we definitely should stay in contact. Um,
Oh yeah, definitely. So, Bailey is probably saying, Terry is saying having the ability and willingness to listen
yes,
is
yes,
a missing factor
yes,
today.
yes,
Absolutely,
that's a fact.
absolutely.
That is
Sean
definitely
Bailey,
is.
Sean says this to me all
Terry,
the time. So let me go ahead and
definitely
say
Terry.
this. So Sean Bailey always says that I need to tell all of you to click my stars, number one. Number two, you need to go into my DM and leave your email so that, as I move forward in this venture, Sean has really been pushing me to do so many things. He's like so instrumental in me being courageous enough to do this. So shout out to Sean Bailey and those that support me. Shout out to you, Fresh, because you always pick up the phone when I call, whether it's good, bad, and different. You always definitely, give me that word that I may need to hear. Sometimes you say the stuff that I don't want to hear, and I'm very, very thankful for that. So I need
Oh yeah.
y'all, I
Oh
need you
yeah.
guys to put your emails in my DM so that, as we move forward, and, I start to do different things, I can email you with whatever it is that I have going on.
Definitely.
Anybody else, like I said, that wants to share something, feel free. I can pull you in. Fresh, I thank you for taking out your time to
Oh
be on
yeah.
my show. I
Cut it
love
out, man.
you.
Cut it
You
out,
you're my
Nika. You know,
bestie.
I love you too, man. You don't even worry about that. Mighty, what's good, Mighty?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Props on your show too. I love what you're doing, my brother.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Everybody that
Sean is doing his
checked in,
thing. He
everybody
doing.
that checked in, appreciate y'all.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I
So
mean,
I don't see
Slill.
anybody else commenting. I
Okay.
don't know if anybody else has anything they want to say, or if they want me. I can pull somebody else on and give you a little 2-3 minutes, however you want to do it. But if not, I am approaching that time of the night. It is
Of
7:57.
course, Mighty. Of
So
course, my
I
brother.
want to say that lock in, watch Sean Atkins. He does, it's hard to go live when a brother's already live. He's
Fact.
mighty real. Check him out.
Facts.
I am
Already live.
Angela. These are the BMW Chronicles, and being me works. To thine
Nice.
own self be true, and be the best you that you can be, no matter what. Never compromise yourself. And today, like I said, we had some hard conversations, and I hope that we've all taken a piece of puzzle, something that we can take with us and do something with it, and know that we have to stay connected to one another, in order for us to build something better. Because things aren't getting easier, they're getting more difficult. So
Definitely.
we do need to lock in. We do need to help each other. We got to put our pride aside and be able to say, hey, I need some help. Can you be there for me? If they can, great. If they can't, listen, search out some other resources.
Let me say this one thing, one last thing.
Do your
Let
thing.
let's not be afraid to see somebody doing better than us. It's okay.
It's okay.
Like it's it's okay if somebody is doing better than you, or they're in a different place. It's okay. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I think we struggle with that,
Absolutely.
as a
As a
culture though,
community, as a
as a
culture.
culture, community.
Absolutely.
I love to see people win. That's it. You know what I mean? And we should inherit, that feeling of seeing somebody else win.
Absolutely.
Um, because if they win, we
We win.
all win. We all win.
Absolutely.
It's a proud
Absolutely.
moment, It's a proud
Absolutely.
moment. Facts.
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
I just
All
wanted to say
right.
that.
So I
All right,
think
me.
that's it for tonight, guys. I thank you all for being here. I know I'm supposed to go live on Thursday, but I don't know about my schedule, but I will let you know. Again, thank you for joining. I am Angela. These are the BMW Chronicles. Being me works. Be the best version of you. Thanks for riding. I love you guys.